Okay, so I have this on because it's really quite chilly, and I'm walking David by himself. So you can see some light, some glare into the screen. So I am going to be walking with David, and he's on a retractable. And Mr. David is 200 pounds, 3 feet 2 inches at his shoulders, and he's the dog that has significant issues. So I'm going to switch it over so that you can see what David is doing as he's walking, and you'll be able to see his behavior, so you have a fair idea of what's going on and how he's reacting at night. So there he is. He's a bit concerned, right? Because to the left here, on the left side, and to the right side, which is south, southeast, and southwest actually of our location, is a couple of coyote bands. So they're on each separate side. So David's going to be concerned about that. You can see that behavior as he's walking back and forth, and he's trying to track what's going on. So he has a little bit of concern. And so this is also really something that's beneficial for people who have dogs that have issues walking at night. And so I'm gonna just swap this over. So you'll have a dog that can't walk at night because they seem skittish and all that, right? Because of course they're not able to see as well, and then you bring a flashlight with you and you go, okay, this is great, right? I have a flashlight, we can see what's going on, and then that should make my dog feel better. But if you watch David here, as I switch back, as he gets quite nervous, he continuously starts to urinate. So that's a insecurity issue that's happening. He's wandering all over the environment. David, no, he's going to places where he knows he's not. Sorry about that. I forgot I was on Wi-Fi leaving the area. So David will go to these areas where he knows he's not supposed to as well once he starts to get more anxiety. See, and he's crossed in front of me on purpose, again, for me to bring him attention. If you watch the video, my earlier video, when I was talking about that, you'll see that he's concerned because I pulled him back. I'm just going to give him a little bit of affection, hold him down a bit. But you'll see that when your dog starts to wander back and forth where you are, like he is there, he has concerns. So he's trying to see whether or not I'm paying attention to what's going on. So then he starts alternating areas to see whether or not, and you can hear me turning my voice to the left here on purpose, so that way he knows that I'm watching out for the left. See, as long as I keep my voice to the left hand side, you understand that he's safe. And if I start to talk more towards David again, then he'll eventually start to go, okay, what's happening? So once we start moving again, you'll start to see him wandering around again. Cynthia asked, why am I a proponent of retractable leashes? They're an excellent mechanical device. It's an ability. You can see me in all the videos where I'm using 1 and 2. So you see he starts to go back and forth there. Where there he is right there, because my voice isn't to the left to be protective for him. There he is again. He's just turned on purpose. David, you're okay. Thank you. So he turns to the right hand side to see if I'm looking to the left. That's peripheral vision. Hi David, you're okay. So I'm talking to the left now. You're okay, David. You're okay, silly boy. Hi David. David, you're okay. David, you're okay. Hi, silly boy. So he feels a bit more braver then, in the sense of, okay, well, if I'm still paying attention to that side and it's all blocked off here, and now we have a bit more cover, then he's feeling a bit more adventurous. He's pulling forward a bit more. The reason why I use retractables, excellent mechanical device, and it allows the dog to have the ability to have a freedom, a cogency structure, a perimeter, because then they're gently reminded of a larger context of a physical, spatial relation of that structure, because now they have 26 feet to wander around, as opposed to having 6 feet and having a lead. And if I had him on a regular leash, there'd be no way I could tell that behavior that happened just now, which was him crossing in front of me again. David, you're okay. Hi, silly boy. So now he slowed down purposely to see whether or not I was going to respond to him. That's how instant his behavior. Stop, please. Stop, please. Stop, please. So I'm just going to give him that. There you go. Thank you, Cynthia. There you go. So, I mean, the whole predication of behavior is going to be survival, egocentric behavior, psychological aspect beyond what Freud could have imagined, because he didn't have the emotional context of the conscious structure of behavior, that sentient aspect. So what ends up happening now is we're seeing behaviors where David is now pulling back because there's a dog down there that he is very angry with. You see in the video 2 days ago where I'm controlling him on a retractable as well. This allows reciprocal behavior right away. I can tell the distance and the length. See, I can move my hand, it doesn't bother him. So he has freedom, cogency to create an experience, knowing that if there is something that happens, I can gently pull him in or pull him in hard at any time. That allows the dog to go, okay, this is really awesome, absolutely amazing. So again, I can continue staying here, and he'll eventually go on his own in about 3, 2, 1, 0. So I'm wrong. And then he starts to make his decision on himself by my stillness. So I make the mistake of thinking he's going to move in a certain time. I don't put that impression on my own end of saying, oh my gosh, I didn't succeed. We're so quick to want to have our dogs succeed and perform so quickly that we don't have the time to be patient. So then he's concerned out there. You see David's looking out there. David, you're okay. David, you're okay. There's a dog that is over there, so I'm going to pull him back a bit. Stop, please. Stop, please. Thank you, David. Then I'm going to give him just a little bit of affection. Those of you know that paw position is an indicator of cogency of what he's thinking, what he's feeling, tension in his body, just like somebody else. Hi, silly boy. Just like anyone who's having a bad day. So now he's also wandering around quite a bit, and what I would do is I have another headlamp on, and this is for people who walk with their dogs at night. So you can see now the headlamp is shining there. So he sees it on now, right? He knows it's directional. So what I do is I turn it behind me, and David, you're okay. He's looking for the dog there. You're okay, David. David. So David's a little bit scared now, right? So this is what he's doing. So I'm going to bring David back over here, and I have also, you're okay, Dave. So I'm going to just bring him over to the side, just to where I am. I want him to learn that if he's scared, that he can come to me. He pulls away thinking he's in trouble. You're okay, David. Right? And again, sorry. Again, he's 200 pounds, 3 feet 2 inches at his shoulders. So we always want to get an adjustment on the paws and all that when he moves himself. You're okay, David. But we're going to just kind of expedite this just for the fact that it's freezing cold, and I'm just doing this kind of impromptu. You're okay, David. So he looks over at the danger. I'm going to make the acknowledgement. You're okay, David. He's about to. David, you're okay. David, thank you. Good boy, David. Good boy. You're okay, David. David, let's go, please. Thank you, David. Good boy. Hi, silly boy. You're okay. Starts to gallop away because he's now away from the danger zone. David, stop, please. Stop, please. You're okay. So what that does is it helps David understand that he got through a very traumatic experience just now by being able to self-regulate where he normally would be very angry. He just took a very deep breath just now. Hi, silly boy. So then what I did is I guided David through an emotional experience. Something that he could not ever do by himself because he is a dog. Another thing that I've done as well to keep him feeling safe as we're walking, so that if you have a dog that is afraid of walking at night and you have a flashlight, you bring 2. And the reason why you bring 2 is because you have one right here, so we can see. Okay, it's just a second here because we're facing the wrong direction. I want to just be demonstrative. Okay. Right, so we're going to go for it. You're okay, David. So I'm not going to rush. He thinks he's in trouble. So this could never happen without a retractable. Because you can see the speed and the slowdown. We can see his behavior happening. Using a retractable is a very highly technical skill. And you see I'm using 2 at once on the same hand. But it allows him to literally convey his behavior. Free. It's an incredibly excellent technical mechanical device. Anyone who is a professional that says it's bad is because they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand how comprehensive it allows us to have lateral movement at all times without any considerations for him to go, oh my gosh, I have to go this direction because the 6-foot lead is pulling me. Or the 20-foot lead drag line is under my feet. The tension is always almost perfect. David, you're okay. So when he goes and hits that cup, see, you're okay, David. He got a little scared. We can see that behavior. He slowed down. See the tongue behavior? Lick to the left hand side. David, stop, please. So we're exposing another area here. And I'm just going to, again, give him a little bit of affection. Hi, silly boy. You're okay. I can feel how, you're okay, David. I can see how he moved his paw there. You're okay, David. Thank you, silly boy. So that's a little bit of a thing. I mean, there's a coyote, 2 coyote bands down here to the left and to the right, as well as there's another coyote band far northeast. Hi, David. So you see how he looked at me? Stop, please. You're okay. See the anxiety when he starts to flick his paws and everything? See the staggered behavior as relational to other times where he's standing a bit more straighter and clean? Hi, silly boy. All these behaviors are psychosomatic, the right process of what is constructed through that familiarity, where he's familiar with something or he's not. Like just him walking past that part there I just showed. We help him understand what the feeling is. What does that feeling mean? It's a foreign aspect, right? You know, it's like when you pet a dog who's dangerous sometimes, that you don't realize what happens when they just suddenly turn and bite you. You're like, oh my gosh, what happened there? So you see how David's a lot more calmer now? If you look at like 3 minutes ago when I talked about bringing 2 flashlights. And the reason why is because I have one here. I found one on the back of my head. And what that does is it allows David, or any dog that you're with, to know that there's sight on the other side as well. So it allows them to look, because they know when we use the light, it is to protect ourselves. Dogs aren't that stupid. If we think dogs are stupid, then we say dogs don't know how to use tools such as, you know, fetch your ball, etc. So then the light behind us allows David to feel safe. If I turn the light ahead of me or turn it off, he will then again become concerned what's happening behind him. So you see behavior at all times. Hi, David. So when he starts to speed up, I'm going to slow down or not move forward at all, so he realizes we're not in a rush. There's nothing scary happening. There's no urgency happening. Hi, David. And then I'll coo to him so he knows that he's safe with that voice that you say to your dog at home, when there's no more scariness or no more dangerous behavior from them. These are, you know, $40 US on Amazon. This one is rated for 125 pounds. Like I say, watch the other videos. I'm using 2 of these at once with 105 and 200 pound Great Danes. Both of them extremely dangerous dogs. One's much more dangerous than the other one, if you will follow the link there. There's no embellishment to what I'm doing. It's the fact that we got to look at dogs and understand dogs' behavior. Hi, silly boy. See how he looked at me peripherally? I made the acknowledgement. Now he goes off again. If you're paying attention to the nonverbal fluency, you can see that in everyday human life as well. If you could see how humans behave at the same level that I see dogs, you would be absolutely stunned how much we're missing. That touch, that physicality, just by seeing that physicality expressed without even having to feel that touch, that's what that nonverbal fluency is. That's what we are all born biologically from. Hi, David. Hi, silly boy. I changed tone so he understands context. I use regular conversational language and tone when I talk to him, so he understands and hears himself when we're in regular language. David, stop, please. Stop. Stop. Right? See context. Wait, please. Wait, please. Wait, please. Wait. Stop, please. Stop, please. Stop, please. Stop, please. Wait, please. Stop, please. David, do you want to go for a walk? Excellent. Thank you, silly boy. So what will happen is I'm going to show you tomorrow in one of my lives how the cogency structure of his comprehension of the word want to go for a walk, the phraseology of it, how he understands what it means. Because inside the home, he will just look at me like that quirkiness of the head as a husky does when they tilt the head back and forth. You will see that happening with him inside the home. Outside the home, he realizes he is in the action verb of that word. He understands context. So he doesn't react the same way. He doesn't tilt his head. You will see that tomorrow. So I'm going to predict his behavior before it happens. But he will tilt his head, as would a husky, when he hears the word. And it's not because of its tonal aspect, it's comparative and it's constructive aspects of cogency. Hi, silly boy. We'll give him a little bit of privacy here as well. So that's what's happening with David, and at the end of the day, then he understands what each word means because he's learning it just contextually as it happens. And if we're keeping the simplification of the word, then there's nothing to worry about, right? The simplification of the word is, hey, oh, hi, silly boy, Eureka. So he comes here for, okay, wait, please. So he came back to me on his own because he wanted affection. And that affection was to make himself feel okay because he just did something very, very, let me get this light on. Something very, very risky, which was to, go to the bathroom in an area where coyotes are known to be howling and all the other scary things. You're okay, silly boy. You're okay. So he started to pull away a bit, so I'm just going to hold him a bit, and he let me stop him, which means it's psychological process because he could very easily at 200 pounds pull away from me, 3 feet 2 inches at the shoulders. Hi, silly boy, you're okay. Then he's calmed down a bit. Right, this is also another reason why the thunder shirt works in addressing aspects of hypersensitivity, processing overload, obviously, sensory processing, especially if a dog is skittish, etc. Those kinds of things are very easy to address. Very easy to address, honestly. And let me just say this to you guys, for the 3 people or 4 people watching, to address a dog, you're very welcome, Cynthia. To address a dog, look at this beautiful moon. God's country, right? Okay, so anyways, to be able to address a dog that has aspects of concerns like thunder and fireworks, I have videos where I have dogs like Minky, who's extremely skittish, calmly, even though he's not shivering hugely, but still calmly being there and just going, okay, that's all right. He's listening to the sound of my voice because what I've done is I create directional objectification of my voice by drawing my voice. Like, for example, if I see an airplane overhead, I'll start talking towards the airplane in a very calm, regular tone of voice. Then he starts to realize that context is there because to him, physics-wise, velocity targeting, the delay is so great that the sound and the object has passed by in such a disparity that he cannot process the logic. So when that happens so he doesn't understand that sound can come elsewhere even though it doesn't have a direction, so it's omnidirectional. So what happens then is the dog can't go, oh my gosh, they can't process what's going on. So then there's thunder as well. That happens, which comes from the same direction of the sky, right? Mommy, big bad man bang the hammer in the sky kind of thunder. So what ends up happening is, oh, David, seriously, David. Seriously, David. David also likes to go into the mud on purpose. And my garden hose that I have there is broken. So what ends up happening is the dog does not understand where the sound is coming from, the thunder. Where's the thunder coming from? Where's that sound coming from? So when I create a directional path of my voice up towards the airplane and the dog can hear it, right? Okay, they start creating relational cogency. Dog then creates, just like the consciousness aspect of learning, the dog goes, oh my gosh, the voice is heading towards that sound. The sound is kind of drowning and blending in. There's a lot of other psychological reasons that I'll get into some other time, but it allows then your dog to understand that kind of noise comes from the sky, which then also teaches them that in the future, if they hear that kind of sound, it's probably coming from the sky, so not to worry about it, which then helps address thunder and fireworks. Truly that simple. Because if you teach a dog or a human, if you teach someone how to comprehend their emotions and their relation to that, then the dog or the human learns. I can self-regulate, I can self-soothe. That's why I can take the most extremely dangerous dogs, most extremely skittish dogs, dogs that are the worst dogs out of over 20,000 dogs, such as Minky, and down train them without using treats or medication. Let's put this over to David. There he is, just checking out things and seeing how life is. And again, he's 200 pounds. And so hi David, you're okay. So he's concerned. So I'm going to stay here in the position where I am. See how he's expressing some aspects of just really nervousness? That's nervousness. Hi David, you're okay. See, it comes back to me now. He's afraid. I talked about that earlier today. What did you see? Stop, please. He wanted to come to me, but he wasn't sure how to ask or whether or not it was all right because he doesn't know how to process this particular emotion. Hi, silly boy. Heavy breath here. You're okay, silly boy. And then he feels it's a reset. Right? And he knows, and I know, that there are potential, animals that may just start out, dogs starting to bark, etc., and then he'll be at risk. So it's a huge trust issue between him and I. David, you're okay. Right? And she doesn't look back. Even though I still have the light on. So it's addressing the psychology that occurs at a true bridge of psychosis in humans at a diluted scale, right? You got to be dog woke, be conscious awake. This is how truly consciousness works. If I was wrong, I would be dead. All the stuff, all my dogs, my YouTube, all these dogs are dealt with in regards to stabilization without treats or medication, and it's all for free. See, there's a dog out there. Now he's concerned. David, so he's looking for me to help him. David, stop, please. David. Right, he's trying to pull forward. He's 200 pounds. David, so it allows me to walk him back. David, you're okay. We weren't going to go this far anyways. Hi, silly boy. And then he's all right. Hi, David. David, you're okay. Hi, silly boy. He looked at me because he wanted to make sure that I was paying attention because I didn't say any sounds, make any noises. So as long as I keep talking, David. So he's not concerned. Hi, silly boy. You're okay. So he's not concerned. And he knows that there's one of the dogs out there comes out of their yard. Jumps the yard. Okay, David, let's go home. Let's go home, silly boy. Let's go home. Hi, silly boy. Hi, silly boy. You're okay. Let's go, silly boy. So I use that tone of voice. I usually go, let's go home. And the reason why I peak it upwards, go home, so then he hears that same tone in an event he's ever lost. People say that, okay, let's go home, boy. So give him the same tone to give him more cogency so he has that connection when he does hear that sound. And I always do it at the 51% line of wherever we go. If it's a straight line, if it's a circle, if I know I'm halfway there, then I'll start creating that, hi, silly boy, David. I'll create that demarcation of cogency. So then he starts to learn where halfway is as well. The concept is a bit more vague, of course, but it helps to create further foundation for the overall structure of his cogency, his emotional intelligence, because then he goes, oh, I have more to support that from kind of filling it out of it. But yeah, and I have to go to, my fingers are freezing. It's extremely cold. Thank you all for listening, and I will continue to educate people. This part. Okay, all right, bye-bye.